Hey, what's up everyone? We're here in the kitchen for another episode of Real World Meal Prep. This one is going to be super simple, ridiculously good, and as always, easy to do at almost any level. We're going to make a spicy teriyaki glazed chicken with barbecued pineapple to put on top to give it a little bit of that sweetness. Of course, we're going to do sweet potatoes because we're bulking and that is an awesome source of carbohydrates, and sweet potatoes are just actually really good and good for you. And we're obviously going to throw some rice on there as well. This one is going to be super simple. We're already using pre-made teriyaki sauce that is actually ridiculously spicy. I've had it before, but it's going to go well with the sweetness of the pineapple, which we're going to grill up right alongside the chicken, give it that extra flavor. Let's jump right into the first step, which is cutting up the sweet potatoes and getting them boiling. So we got these sweet potatoes cut up. I cut them into little circles like this. Now, the biggest tip for cooking, if you're not into cooking, you're just into lifting weights, hey, it's understandable. Cut them into small uniform cubes, or circles in this case, because evenness and surface area, like this chip right here, it means it's gonna cook a lot faster and it's gonna cook a lot more evenly throughout the entire thing. If you put 3 big sweet potatoes in there, it's gonna take like 2 hours to boil all those together. But since these are small little uniform discs, they're gonna cook evenly all at the same time in about 20 minutes. So for the chicken, obviously we have this really cool, very spicy teriyaki sauce, but we're not gonna go ahead and marinate that. Now, if you've ever had a problem with cooking chicken before and you put the marinade on there, it tastes really good, and you stick it on there and it instantly burns when you put it on the grill, that's because that grill's at about 500 degrees depending on your individual setup. And that boiling point or that burn point of a lot of those marinades is so far lower than that, probably like 200 to 300 degrees. So you put that on there, you walk away for 5 minutes to do something or maybe talk to someone, maybe you're grilling and chilling, and it's gonna burn. What I suggest is hit your chicken with a little bit of salt and pepper, maybe a little bit of garlic depending on what you're doing at the time. Grill it up, get those nice grill marks on it, and for the last 5 to 7 minutes, then put the marinade, in this case it'd be a glaze, not a marinade, on the chicken. It's gonna get nice and brown, maybe a little bit of crispiness, which I like to do on my chicken, but it's not gonna burn, and that's the important thing, because the worst thing you wanna do is make a mistake, kill all of your chicken, and have to redo all of that prep. So just a quick little tip on the chicken. Now for the pineapple, this is what's gonna balance that spicy teriyaki glaze, this sweet pineapple. Now if you put this on, when you put the chicken on, it's gonna be just as destroyed as if you would have had put that marinade on. What we're gonna do, at the same time we're putting that marinade on, we're gonna slap a little olive oil on these. Don't worry, it's not gonna take away any of the sweetness. And we're gonna throw it on the grill right next to it. So a lot of people say white rice is super boring, and if you're gonna eat it straight, that's definitely kind of true. We have the spiciness of the chicken and the sweet potatoes to try to kind of mask that a little bit. But if you want an easy trick, and if you look at the calorie breakdown, 1 tablespoon is like 30 calories for this kind of stuff. We're bulking, that doesn't really factor into it very much for us, but if you're watching your calories and you want to make sure that rice is a little bit flavored, throw a little bit of that teriyaki sauce into the rice. Not very much, I'm obviously not measuring it. I'm just going for a little bit of flavor into that rice. It's still gonna cook up just like you would if you're making a standard thing of Uncle Ben's minute rice, but now it's gonna have a little bit of spicy teriyaki flavor to it, and it's gonna go really well with the chicken. Now, one thing I like while I'm doing meal prep is that it gives me a chance to talk to you guys a little bit while there's this stuff going on in the background. And let's talk for the first time about setting appropriate goals. I always suggest setting appropriate goals. Now I say appropriate because a lot of these people set goals that are super unrealistic. 16-year-old nephew wants to look like me. How fast is that gonna take, he asked? Years. Years of hard work, eating, training right, making the simple mistakes that we all make and learning past them. Or maybe you're that 300-pound guy who wants to drop down to 180. Hey, what type of supplements do I need to take to get there? It's not about supplements at that level, it's about exercise, diet, and obviously supplementation is that small little factor in the background, but that's not what should be the appropriate goal for you. Now, what I always suggest is, I learned from the hard way that you walk into a gym, I was a really small guy and I see these huge dudes lifting some serious weight, and I thought I want to be just like that guy, and I'm standing there next to him and I'm lifting and it's 1/4 of the weight, and you get super demotivated. I suggest that if you're a guy who's smaller and you want to get to that bigger step, find a person who's just a little bit bigger than you. Find that next step of where you could be like, I want to be just like that guy, and go up to him and ask, like, hey, what do you do? How much do you eat? I want to look just like you. Not only, I guarantee you make a gym friend, you probably boost that guy's ego because you want to look like him, and then you learn the appropriate steps to get to that next echelon of fitness. Or again, if you're that heavy set guy and you want to slim down, find someone who's a little bit ahead of you, who's lost maybe 20 pounds. Like, hey, what are you doing that's getting you results? And then fit that somewhere in between your fitness and diet regimen to maybe get to that next step. And again, you're gonna boost that dude's ego because now you're idolizing in a small sense that person. That's gonna boost their ego, and now you just skyrocketed their confidence. So set appropriate goals. If you don't know what's an appropriate next step for you, hit me up on Twitter. Please hit me up on Twitter. I'm always here to help because that's what this channel is all about, that Fitness 253 community. So just like that, the sweet potatoes have been drained. Cutting them into small little circles like that makes the cook time not even 20 minutes. Like I said, it was probably more like 11 minutes. Chicken's about halfway done cooking on the grill. Rice is probably got a minute and 42. Oh, minute 30, that was close. A little bit left on it, and we're gonna start getting the first little steps of the meal prep assembled, and I'm gonna catch you when we're starting to put the pineapple onto the grill and taking a look at that chicken. So we're on the next and final step, which happens to be putting the pineapples on the grill, getting the teriyaki, spicy teriyaki sauce onto the chicken with the last like 7 minutes left right now. Cut to that, I'm gonna bring them back both inside, hopefully nice and kind of charred from the grill and with an awesome flavor to it. I'll catch you in a second. Just a quick little tip while the chicken and pineapples finish up. If you have a little bit of a sweet tooth, and let's face it, we all do, and you wanna make these meal preps a little bit more interesting, but you don't wanna go full on cheat mode, maybe say 2 of these or 1 of them if you wanna go really low. When your sweet potatoes, put a little butter, brown sugar, and like 3 mini marshmallows, mix it up a little bit, let it get nice and melty, and it's gonna be an awesome little sweet boost throughout your meal preps, and maybe something to look forward to the week. All right, so everything is done. We let the chicken rest, we cut it up. It's all in meal prep containers. As you can see, the kitchen's clean. That way spouses / parents don't get mad, because the worst thing you do is meal prep and have someone all on you for making an absolutely trashed kitchen. Just another quick tip, it's like 3 or 4 for the video. Let's take a look at what we made. As you can see, we have chicken with pineapple, sweet potato, and teriyaki rice. Now those pineapples turned out really well, and I think overall it's a pretty darn good meal prep. Now maybe some of you out there might be like, hey, that's not a lot of meal prep. That's only for 2 days. I actually go on vacation for 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But don't worry, I'll still upload some content for you guys, maybe a little vacation vlog. Appreciate you guys for taking a look at this. As always, thanks for all the support. Make sure to hit up the YouTube and subscribe as well. Definitely like to use your support there. As always, take it easy.